Hello, welcome to Football United TV. We're back with Unofficial Pundit. Glad to have you back. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm very good. Yourself?
Yes, brilliant, mate. Especially after what happened on Sunday. Brilliant result. But we'll talk quickly about the Liverpool and Man United. What did you think about that 1-1 draw?
Joe, I thought it was a terrific performance from our team. I thought everyone played really well. I think the only thing that was lacking was, I know a lot of people was giving Klopp credit for the second half, how he changed it. But the issue for us was, this is where I felt sorry for Ole, was he didn't have no bench, really. So when they were changing their style of play, we couldn't change ours and bring on some fresh legs. They brought on 3 players that were fresh, that could add something different. We didn't have that option. We didn't have an option of bringing on maybe a different fullback or a different centre-back, really, an experienced one anyway. We didn't have the option of bringing on a different midfielder or maybe a different winger, like maybe giving James a little break for the last 20 minutes and bringing on a really good winger. We didn't have that option. And if you look at it, the player who scored the goal for them was one of their subs. So I think that played a big part. The boys were tired. They'd really put in a shift that game. They'd got up and down the field, especially James, Rashford and Pereira had really got up and down that field. Even our 2 fullbacks, in all honesty, they had done really well as well. So I think they were a bit tired as well. And now Liverpool stretched the game more. Listen, it was a bit of a silly goal to give away, I think. That's the one thing for me with players like Rojo. He's a lot like Smalling and Jones. They can be fantastic for 89 minutes. You think, wow, I hope they play like this every week. But that 1 minute lapse ends up leading to a goal. That was the only downside to me, because I thought Rojo played really well. And it's just sad that he left Lallana totally unmarked. Had he not, he would have cleared that and lovely. Do you know what I mean? We would have seen the game out. So
I'm pretty sure that's something that they will look back on, like training and stuff. Like say, look, if you can cut that out, we'll concede less goals.
Yeah, of course.
What did you make about the supposedly foul on Origi that led to the Rashford goal?
The way I look at it was he hardly touched him. Origi looked like he was already going down. He had already lost the ball to McTominay. McTominay was going to come and take the ball off him anyway. To me, it shows he gets a little knock on his left leg and goes down holding his right. So in his head, the minute that ball came to him, he thinks Lindelof's going to go through the back of me and I'm going to win a free kick here. That didn't really work. His body language is already going down to win a free kick. McTominay takes the ball, and then for me, it goes up the other end, 70 yards before we put the ball in the back of the net. There's still so much time. But one thing I wanted to highlight in that, which I didn't even in my preview, was, because I saw it again after, and obviously, when you watch the goal again and again.
Yeah.
When James picks up the ball and starts running at Liverpool, Van Dijk actually shits himself to come out. He doesn't go towards him. Watch it again. When you watch it again, Van Dijk doesn't come towards him. Van Dijk actually waits for Wijnaldum to come back and help him, but Wijnaldum doesn't get there in time, so then James just whips the ball in. Where had Van Dijk actually done his job of coming out, he might be able to block the cross, but see, Van Dijk has this stat of not really getting dribbled past. He didn't want to come out because he knew James is so fast, he might take one touch and be past me. So
did you see
that
the
played a big
moment
part?
where I think it was on the touchline where even Gary Neville was saying Van Dijk never gets done over, and then suddenly Rashford done him over on the touchline, and I was like, wow, he's getting done today.
Do you know what? Like I said, I thought everyone played well, but for me, Rashford was just, because you see the difference when Martial's there, because Martial's a proper striker, and it gives Rashford that more space, and Martial's so good at what he does. But in this game against Liverpool, Martial wasn't there. So Rashford was really the main man for us. He had to do everything. I know James helped out, don't get me wrong, and Rashford did it well. Listen, he mugged off Matip, where I don't know if you saw my thing with the Coppish on Football Terrace. They were trying to say Matip's the second best defender in the league. He absolutely destroyed Matip, even put him on his ass. Do you remember when Matip was holding on to him? He sort of just threw him to the floor. He mugged.
And they were arguing about that on there.
and you saw what he done to Van Dijk. Little barge left him. Listen, Van Dijk looked like he was trying to pull his shirt off. Do you know what I mean? I think he wanted Rashford after the game. He ruined them that game, and I think we needed that. We didn't want them to be comfortable, their 2 centre-backs, because then they just get into the game more. And like I said, I think the only way Liverpool got into that game was they could make subs. they could change it up a little bit, and unfortunately we couldn't. And that's the only thing that's hard to. But we know our squad depth isn't there at the moment. But listen, I think we'll be all right as long as we. It'd be nice to finish in the top 4, but as long as we get into the top 6, and that's not what we would really want as Man United fans. But with the way the squad is at the moment, I think if we can bring a couple of players in January, get into the top 6, listen, we might miss out on Champions League next year, which is sad. But if you're building a better team and we can go into the following season with more signings again and really have a squad there, not just a starting 11, I think we can really push next season. Not saying that we can win the league, but we can push and be cemented into the top 4, and then you just build again for the following season. Do you know what I mean? It's going to take a bit of time. I think fans need to start realising that. But if we can get these results that we can against the big teams, we just need to start seeing off the smaller teams. And we saw against Norwich, which we will get onto, we done that as well. So
yeah. And it's like, I guess the same with the way Leicester are playing and Spurs, what they've been doing in the past few years of adapting and getting into Champions League like progressively, and they've kind of taken our spots right at the moment, you know, not Spurs right now, but in the last 3 or 4
years. I know what you mean, in the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
What do you make of the Partizan Belgrade versus United game?
I don't like that formation that we played. I thought we gave them a bit too much respect. But I think that the thing there was, I don't think Ole wanted to go there and lose, so that this statistic carried on. So I think for Ole, he would have took a win any way, shape or form. And you saw that we won by a penalty. Wasn't a good result. Wasn't a good game. Was a good result in the end, because now you sort of quash that thing about we haven't won away from home in how many games. I don't think he wanted to go from the great performance against Liverpool. I don't think he wanted to go to a loss, and it's just like flip-flop. Do you know what I mean? And now if you look at it, in 1 week, we've drawn against Liverpool, which we should have won, I feel. We've gone and beat Partizan, and we've gone and beat Norwich. So it's gone from a terrible, terrible end just before the international break to a great week after the international break. So I think Ole, listen, might have played his cards right there and he just wanted the result at Partizan. Wasn't a great game, but listen, sometimes when you don't play well but you get the win, lovely. And we're top of our group there at the moment. So
do you think there might have been a possibility because of what happened? I think it might have been the first time we've played in that stadium since what happened in 58.
Yeah, maybe that as well. Maybe he just wanted, like I said, just wanted to get a result.
Do you know what I mean?
And listen, if you said to me, even if he was flying and you said to me, if he was playing great football and you said to me at some point we're going to go away to a really crap team and we're just going to nick a 1-0 win and we're not going to play well, that's what champions normally do. Not saying that we're going to be champions, but that's what champions normally do. We should see it under Ferguson sometimes. We should go to a team, Sheffield United, for example, years ago. We should go to them and win 5-0. But we'd scrape a 2-1 win and we'd go 1-0 down and we'd be knocking on the door. Like, we're not playing great. We're trying to knock on the door. Do you know what I mean? It's just a scrappy, horrible game. We end up making it 2-1 or we end up winning the game 1-0 and it's like, okay, at least we come away with the points. That's what champions do. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, listen, wasn't loads of positives to take, but then we saw a great young left-back play, which was nice. And we even saw Ghana get a few minutes play the game. And so we managed to nick a game that wasn't great and see a couple of youth players get a chance as well, which was nice. So, and Martial got some minutes, which we needed. Because even against Norwich, I thought he was good, which we'll get onto, like you said, but I don't think he's 100% sharp just yet.
Yeah, so basically talking about the Norwich game the other day, what did you make of it? And the penalty misses as well, what do you make of that?
Okay, so for the Norwich game, in my opinion, that's the team fully fit. I'm not fully fit. The players we have fit at the moment, that's the team I wanted to see. I didn't want to see Williams play at left back, even though I really like him, don't get me wrong. But we need to win these Premier League games. We was 15th, we're now 7th. That's the difference it made. So I don't think we need to take the risk. We know what Ashley Young offers. We know he's not fantastic, but he gives his all. He tries his best. He's a safe option. So I thought him at left back was fine. Obviously, De Gea in goal. The two centre backs, they speak for themselves. AWB, what a footballer, man. Honestly, defensively, AWB just amazing. Him at right back, yeah. The free midfield, that's the midfield I wanted to see. It really was. I wanted to see maybe someone sitting deep and two sitting in front. But he's sticking. One thing you got to give Ole, he's sticking with the formation he likes. So we've got to back it with it. If that's the formation he likes, fair enough. The one key point for me was I wanted to see those three up front, Martial, Rashford and James, because I want them to play more and more together. But the one key point factor for me was I wanted to see Pereira playing a more central role. And I've been very critical of Pereira, but he's only 23, and if he's going to put in performances like that, I can't criticise him. I think he'll only get better because he might not be the greatest number 10 you're going to have, but the boy works and he works hard. And he'll give you 90 minutes of non-stop running. He'll link up with players. Listen,
that's what you want, isn't
it? Yeah. So with the players we had fit and available, that's the team I wanted to see. And for me, listen, the two penalty misses.
Yeah.
I argued with my cousin just before the second one was taken. I said, it doesn't matter that Martial, because they never had an argument about it. I like that. Rashford clapped his hand like, go on, mate. I like that they have that unity between them that, go on, you can take it. I don't mind. Do you know what I mean? That I like. But my cousin was right. Rashford had just scored now, so his confidence wasn't down. And the way he took his goal after missing a penalty was absolutely beautiful. That first touch and then just to slot it through the goalkeeper's legs, fantastic. So my cousin was right that Rashford should still be taking it because we need to have a designated penalty taker. And just like, listen, if Harry Kane misses his next 3 penalties, I guarantee you he takes the 4th one. And I'm not saying that Rashford is as good as Harry Kane. Harry Kane's a fantastic penalty taker. We know this.
The only way to repair missing a penalty is to take one again and get.
Of course. And
one again.
Had Rashford not just scored that goal, then maybe not let him take it because you don't want him to miss another one and the crowd really get on him because we know he gets a lot of stick. But because he just scored that goal as well after missing the penalty, let him take it, let him smash it in. Do you know what I mean? So I do understand what my cousin was saying, but Martial took it, he missed. You know what? I didn't want to criticise the players because I thought they played really well, but I'm disappointed with both of them because they can take better penalties than that. They're much better than that. They actually listen, we know Tim Krul's a good goalkeeper. I think he's a really good goalkeeper. I'm surprised he don't play for a bigger team.
He made some great saves, didn't he?
And it's not the first time that he's had an unbelievable game against Man United. So he's a good goalkeeper, but you still got to give him more to do. They were actually quite easy saves. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only downside to me. But in saying that, I'm happy we created that many chances. Because we've won a few games, but just a penalty. Leicester was just by a penalty. Partizan was just by a penalty. Where with this game, we missed 2 penalties and still scored 3 goals. And could have had a couple more. If you saw the ball that James tried to put in, the defender makes an error and it comes to Martial. He hits it first time with his left. Good save by Krul again. That one, Rashford had another chance or 2. We had chances to score goals. The Martial header that Krul saved from nowhere.
I think people also forget is that Man City lost to Norwich,
Oh, yeah.
And we had the chance to be, like you say, 5-6, maybe even 7-1, 7-2 up.
And if you look at it, this is the team that beat Man City convincingly, if you look at it. And really, that goal we gave away, I was so angry. And I wasn't even angry with McTominay, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't. I know he just lost the ball. It's like it ran away from him or something. The player just nicked it. That can happen. Listen, that can happen. But I was angry with our 2 centre-backs. And they're actually the 2 players I thought were the poorest on the day, if I'm honest with you. And why I was angry with them was, there's both of them there. One of you's got to step up. Now, he's running more down Lindelof's side. Lindelof's got to step up, knowing Maguire's behind him. If this player goes past me, Maguire can cover for me. Why let him come closer and closer and closer? Now they've let a young kid like Jimmy Garner come along. He's mistimed the tackle. The player took a touch and he's past everyone. Yeah. And he might have a shot. That's bad. Because he received the ball or nicked the ball at the halfway line. Why has he been allowed to run 40, 50 yards or whatever and get into our box and have a shot without even really being challenged? That's terrible for me. That wasn't good. That wasn't good enough. And that's why I was so upset that we gave that goal away. Because had we not given that goal away, we would have conceded the same amount of goals as Man City this season. And the only teams that have conceded less than us are Liverpool, Leicester and Sheffield United, if I'm not wrong. I think they've conceded 8. So
they have got that is a surprising stat for Sheffield United, isn't it?
Oh yeah. They've done well. So we should have kept a clean sheet there. I don't think they really troubled us much. I know that is it Cantwell or something? Had a good shot in the first half. That young kid.
Yeah. Okay.
He had a good shot that De Gea saved right at him though, but like just it was quite high, weren't it? But he had a good shot. But other than that, I don't remember Norwich really troubling us. I thought it was a great performance. Solid. We done well. We pinned them back. At times, second half, we actually gave them a lifeline because if Martial scores his penalty, I'm not criticising them. Listen, they've missed a couple of penalties. They need to sort that out collectively as a team because there might be games that are decided by a penalty, even though you've had loads of chances. There could be a game that's 1-1. We've literally battered a team, and now we get a penalty. Like what happened in the Wolves game. We need someone who scores 9 out of 10 of our penalties. We do. But had Martial scored that, we now go into half-time 3-0 up. And I think it's done for Norwich. They're going to come out maybe for 5-10 minutes, try, and I reckon we win 5 or 6-0. But because it was 2-0 and Aaron Wan-Bissaka got booked just before half time, which he done fantastic in the second half to make so many tackles and still not receive a second, we sort of gave them a lifeline. If you saw, they brought that player on to run at him because they knew he was on a yellow card. And they knew that if they get one goal back, there's only one goal in it now. We're at 3-0. The game's sort of dead and buried, ain't it? Do you know what I mean? So that's maybe the only negative, that we could have made the game a little bit easier for us. But then, saying that, in the second half, for the first 15 minutes of trying knocking on the door, what did they really have? We weathered that storm well, I thought.
We done well, mate. Yeah, I'm really happy with that because we needed the away win in the Premier League as well. It's been since, I think, February. Very, very long time. I think you haven't even won away since PSG, have we?
Something like that, yeah.
Which is, it's nice. I think it's a confidence booster for the team.
Yep.
Especially the defence as well. They're not, like you say, they're not letting in as many goals as other teams. So if you look back on it and say you're doing pretty well in that respect, then it's everything to go on for, isn't it, for Man United? I think you're right about next season. I think even if we make Europa League, people will want to come to us. And we can definitely contend for the top 4 next year, I think, personally.
Yeah, 100%. I think certain players looking at it, if we carry on playing better football now, hoping players stay fit, and we can maybe bring 1 or 2 in January, and we do well, and you can see the football's there. We're just lacking a little bit. I can't see why players wouldn't want to come to Manchester United who look like they're getting better under a manager who wants to attack and they're trying something different. You're not coming to a manager who wants to defend. You're going to be playing boring football. Do you know what I mean? So I can't see why players wouldn't want to come to us. I'm just happy we won this Norwich game, if I'm totally honest with you. We needed it. We really needed it. But we also need to play good football and to, like I said, create that many chances and should have had 5 or 6. But still, won convincingly was good for us. And it just shows you all these people talking about relegation battle and that. We've gone from 15th to 7th. That's how close it was. And with the games coming up, other than the Chelsea game tomorrow, which I wish we wasn't in this cup, I half wish Rochdale had knocked us out now. Penalties, as stupid as that sounds.
Yeah, it's a horrible match-up, isn't it?
Yeah, because we're gonna have to play a strong team. I don't want our players. I would have liked to have had a week off now, where they can all rest, they can all practice, they can all get ready for Bournemouth and go out then hopefully batter Bournemouth. And all that do is, I think Leicester playing Palace. Someone's got to drop points there. If you look at the next 4 or 5 games, everyone's playing each other. Everyone's got hard games where we can really pick up some points and really cement ourselves. Because this is where, listen, by after Christmas, you'll know where teams are going to be in and around. This is still really, really early. Do you know what I mean? So, but listen, we've got the game tomorrow. Let's just hope a good result. Let's hope we don't get any silly injuries because Martial has to play as our striker. He has to play as our striker. If you've seen it, his hold-up play is really good. His link-up play, him and Rashford, they can play so well together. When they get that little link-up play with James, I love our front three. And this is why when people say that we should maybe go and sign someone like Timo Werner or someone like that Dembele from Lyon, I don't want them players because they're young. They're going to want to start. They're not going to be happy to sit on the bench. I want maybe a 30-year-old striker who's happy to come in, sit on the bench. Rashford and Martial can still learn a few things from, and someone who could just come in to give them a break. Or if someone's got a little week or 2 injury, that striker could come in and play. Or if there's a game we can't break a team down, he can add something different. Do you know what I mean? I don't want someone young who's going to want to start. If I'm Timo Werner, I'm not leaving Leipzig to come and sit on Man United's bench to wait for Martial to be injured or get rested.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's listen, I think Martial's the right number 9 for us. I really do. I think he offers everything. He can dribble. He's a good finisher. Like I said, he can link up well. He can hold up the ball. I'm just hoping he's going to stay fit now.
And I think he's just reached recently over 50 goals for Man United as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. So
and we've got the 2000th goal as well in the Premier League. McTominay.
McTominay, another player looking really good. Fred looked good against Norwich. He worked really hard. And I've just seen the thing on Sky Sports, Ole saying that Fred's going to have to take Pogba's place for a while because Pogba's not going to be in the team until December.
Ankle injury, right?
I don't think there's things right with Pogba. I'm not saying that he's 100% fit. I'm not saying that he's 100% faking the injury. I won't say that, but I don't think things are right there. And I'll be honest with you, every time there's something about Man United, there's something to do with Pogba as well. And I just think sometimes a team needs to see the back of that player. I really do. I know a lot of people just think I'm totally against Pogba. Yeah, I am. He said he wanted to leave Man United in the summer when it was important for him to stay and maybe help give us one more season and help. If you're going to come out and say something like that, make sure there's a club that are going to offer the money you're worth. Do you know what I mean? Listen, if you want a BMW, but you've only got $5,000, but you want a brand new one, you're not getting it. Exactly. The offer Real Madrid made was not what he's valuated at. So if you're going to come out and make a statement, so if you're going to come out and make a statement like that, make sure your agents maybe got a deal there in place where the club can think, okay, he wants to leave. We've got this big deal. He didn't do that. So yeah, he just turned more fans against him. So I just think that maybe it's best just to get rid of him. If we can get 130, 140 million, whatever, you can go and sign 2 good players for that. And we need the players. We know we do. So listen, it's not ideal him being injured because Matic is injured as well. And really, we only have those 3 central midfielders of McTominay, Fred, and Pereira. Garner's a bit too young yet to be starting. So we're cut short there. But listen, it'll be what it'll be. What can you do? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Mate, thank you very much for...
Not a problem, pal.
We're happy about the results recently. Hopefully we can
100%.
keep us up as a team. And we'd love to have you back on very soon.
Maybe after the weekend.
Sounds perfect, mate.
100%, mate. Speak to you soon. Take care.
Subscribe to ours and your channels if you want to shout out all your Twitters and all that again, Instagrams.
Yeah, the Unofficial Pundit on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and on Twitter we're Unofficial Pund 1. Thanks for having us, pal.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Goodbye.